Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase we're going to be looking at the Dinobot Swoop. What we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a quick look at him in both of his modes, and that'll help you decide how you want to display him. I'll point out the accessories that come with him and things that you need to be aware of if you have to purchase one for yourself. And as I'm lucky enough to have one of his boxes, we can have a look at the artwork and the battle scenes on the back of that. Before we get started, I want to dedicate this video to Hans van der Acker, and I hope he enjoys this very much. Okay then, here he is, Dinobot Swoop, and he officially came out in 1985 as part of Series 2 of the Generation 1 continuity of figures. And in all honesty, I really don't know what's took me so long in doing a video on him. He's an absolutely fantastic figure and a fantastic character. And as I'm sure you've heard me say a couple of times, he never came out in the UK, so the funny thing about him is he is the rarest Dinobot. It could be for that reason. That's obviously one of the reasons he wasn't, available all around the world. But the other thing as well is with him being a pteranodon, not a pterodactyl, his alternate mode is quite flimsy, so he does tend to get broken much more easy. So obviously he's harder to get on the secondary market. Before we get started looking at him in the alternate mode, let's have a look at him in the robot. So the first thing to be aware of is that these legs, and you'll see as soon as I picked him up, they can get very, very loose. One of the main things, and you can tell just by looking at it, is the chrome. The chrome is a huge thing to be aware of. It can get faded. There's a bit of fade there. I don't know if you can sort of tell. You can definitely tell if I put it up against that wing there, which I'll do in a second for you. Again, he is very, very flimsy. His head is flimsy there. The legs are flimsy there. But he just looks fantastic. Look at him, he looks fantastic. You don't have to have this missile launcher here. The funny thing about his weapons is he's slightly different to the rest of the Dinobots, and that's because he has a sword the same as everybody, but then he's got two firing weapons, which are these missile launchers here, and he comes with 3 of these bullets. Let's get that focused for you. Is it going to do it? I'll get it to focus in a second. But yeah, he's got 3 of these bullets. I say he's got the sword, but he doesn't have another gun. So he's got 2 firing projectiles, but misses a gun, unlike the others. So the good thing is, as you can see, you can either have him with his sword, or he can have both in his hands, or when he's in his Dinobot mode, you can put both of them underneath there. I said Dinobot mode, I meant dinosaur, obviously, his alternate mode. So you can put both of them under the wings. The good thing about Swoop is if you haven't got any of his accessories, he will still display really well in either mode, which is obviously a good thing. This is his alternate mode, as I said, a pteranodon, and you can see already how much more shiny this one is. This guy normally sits inside the box behind there, so that's why he hasn't got much playwear, and the joints are quite stiff with him. Stickers on here make a bit of a difference, but you can't see these ones under the wing, so if you were going to display him in that mode, you wouldn't notice that. And as I say, the beak, the head, it's a little loose, but sometimes you can get away with it and it'll just rest there. You can either have him displayed sitting on his belly like that, or you can have him standing up like this and then bring his head down. So you've got a couple of different ways of deciding how you want to display him. But overall, as I say, he's a fantastic figure. I wish I could tell you he was nice and robust, but he's definitely not. We'll have a little look at the articulation on him. He's just got a bit of movement there in the shoulder, and the legs, as I say, they do just come down. They don't do it. You can't turn them, you can't twist them out. No movement at the hip. And I've mentioned before, and I'm probably going to say it loads of times, that's the biggest thing to be aware of. I'm quite lucky that that guy stands, even with them being as loose as they are. So let's have a quick look at the box then. So I'm just going to move these carefully out of the way. So as I said, it was 1985, it was wave 2, so when we turn him around on the back, we're going to have the second battle scene. But there is the artwork for Swoop, and of course, for those of you who watched a lot of the cartoon when you were younger, the main difference between this and the cartoon is obviously he's got the red chest in the toy, but in the cartoon he had the blue. And just for a bit of trivia for you, that's because that's in the cartoon they copied the Diaclone version of him. There is a great picture of him there, but obviously I don't know if you've noticed, he's got a gold sword there, which he didn't have at all. He just had the red one. And then, as I've just said, if we spin him around, we've still got the gold sword there, and the gold projectiles, and the gold feet. So there you go, there's a few differences there. But if we turn it round, there is the battle scene I was on about. 1985 battle scenes. You've got the Dinobots, you've got Jetfire, you've got the infamous red tracks and Shockwave. The artwork there is fantastic. I'm sure most people have seen this at least at some point throughout their Transformers journey, or they may remember it fondly from when they were a child themselves. But yeah, so in summary, he is the hardest to get hold of Dinobot on the secondary market for two reasons. One, because he's very flimsy and breaks easily, and two, I think it's just because, as I've said, he wasn't released absolutely everywhere. He was released in Japan, and then he was a mail away item as well. So that's why he's the rarest as well, if you see him in the Takara boxes. But yeah, he displays so well, I think, in either mode, let's be honest. It depends on the space that you've got. The most important thing to be aware of with this is, apart from the loose joints, is the chrome, because the chrome will massively affect how you display him. But there he is. As I say, he's a great figure. I might as well just show you this sword quickly as well, because it is different to the rest of the Dinobots. There we go. So if you're after one yourself, 2 launchers, 3 bullets and a sword. He doesn't have any other gun, again, like the other Dinobots did. Yeah, fantastic toy. So I hope you enjoyed looking at him. If you were lucky enough to have one as a child, then I hope it brought back some nice memories. If you were unfortunate enough to live in the UK like myself and you've not seen one before, I hope you found this interesting and it helped you with your quest to find one, whether you want to get one or not, or which way to display him. But yeah, there he is, 1985 Generation 1 Dinobot Swoop. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.